another big MCU thing that came out. Well, I think it's a big MCU story, but I don't think a lot of people are reporting on it right now. I saw Chris from 3C Films talk about this, but he's the only person I've seen talk about this online, and it's that Michael Waldron will be writing a Nova film for Marvel Studios. Nova's a character that has been kind of teased for quite a while. Of course, you can go back to films like Guardians of the Galaxy, and the Nova Corps was in there, and I believe at one point they were going to go with either Richard Rider or Sam Alexander. I think Richard Rider is the Nova that they're going to go with in the MCU, and he's actually who I would pick to be the Nova that they go with. I am familiar with the Sam Alexander version from the cartoon Ultimate Spider-Man, and that's actually my only exposure to the character of Nova. So I'm very curious about this film. It does have I am intrigued by it, and going for projects like this actually kind of feels like old Marvel in the days of Phase 1 and Phase 2 and Phase 3, specifically Phase 2 and 3. But I think it's perfect for where we're going moving forward. We're going to kind of go into this mutant saga, I think, post-Secret War, so it'll be heavily focused on the X-Men and the mutants, but there will be other projects. There's going to be a Black Panther 3, Shang-Chi 2 is on the way, and then adding this Nova film in here makes perfect sense. And then Nova can join the Avengers or some kind of other cosmic team when we go further on into this next phase. I believe the Eternals are finally going to make their return. There's heavily rumored that they're going to be part of this new Avengers film that they're working on called Avengers Judgment Day, that the Russo brothers are actually signed on, or at least I think they're in talks to sign on to do another Avengers movie after Doomsday and Secret Wars. So I would really like to see Nova brought to the big screen. For a while, I think he was talked about maybe being on the Disney Plus side, and Disney Plus has been getting better, but I think Disney Plus is better suited for those more grounded street level characters like Daredevil and the Defenders, which is kind of more so what they're leaning into now. And then of course you do the animated stuff like X-Men 97s, your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, stuff like that. We do have Vision Quest on the way, but I think that Disney Plus will probably be more relegated to either these special presentations like The Punisher or the more grounded level characters, and do a series over like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, those guys. So with Nova, I always thought he was better suited to be a big film character, a character that we can go to the theaters and experience. I mean, they did it with Captain Marvel. I personally have always been more of a fan of Nova. I've kind of found his story, at least from what I know. Again, only know the Sam Alexander version from Ultimate Spider-Man, but that character alone found him more interesting. He does have a connection with the Guardians of the Galaxy, so maybe there's a bit of history. Now, if they go with the Richard Rider version of the character, I don't know if he's going to have a connection with the Guardians, if there's some other cosmic team that he's familiar with. So I'm really curious to see what this film could be. I honestly have no idea where this could go, and that honestly gets me so excited because lately with Marvel, there's these projects that came out, a Moon Knight or a She-Hulk or Miss Marvel or whatever, that I'm not super familiar with, but I think it was more of the quantity over quality, so the quality started to dip. So then when you started hearing about all these other new properties they wanted to introduce, you're just kind of like, yeah, okay, but I mean, it hasn't really been working, has it? Lately, Marvel has been on a trajectory of correcting the quality aspect of their products and their work. So I think this year has been a great year for the MCU so far. Thought last year was mostly a great year for the MCU. Captain America: Brave New World notwithstanding. I mean, that film is fine. It's not great. It's not terrible, but it was okay. But everything else after that I thought was great. Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four. Even liked Daredevil Born Again Season 1. Season 2 was much better. But this year has also been on just a trajectory of, it's an upward trajectory for the MCU. And then, so I'm really excited to see where we're going to go with the MCU. There's been some reports on maybe some issues they're having with the edit for Avengers Doomsday. But I think they're going to be able to find the edit. I think it's going to be there. And I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. I've just been nothing but hyped for Doomsday. And it's got me excited to be a Marvel fan once again. So what are your thoughts on Michael Waldron writing the new Nova movie? He has experience with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. He wrote that movie. He wrote on the Loki series, at least the first season. He was going to write on when it was going to be Avengers King Dynasty and the original version of Secret Wars. I don't think he was going to be on King Dynasty. I think that was Jeff Loveness. Michael Waldron was supposed to be writing on the original take on Secret Wars. You may have forgotten, but he actually was brought on as a co-writer with Stephen McFeely on Avengers Doomsday. So he's got experience. He's still connected with the MCU right now. And I think for the most part, what he's added to the MCU has actually been very positive for me. I'm one of the few that actually really did enjoy Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. I could see its shortcomings, but overall, I did really enjoy that film. So, and I loved what he did with Loki season 1. So I'm excited to see his involvement with the MCU going forward. They were confident enough to bring him into Avengers Doomsday. Kevin Feige seems to be a fan of him and what he's doing, what he's writing. So that's got my confidence in this project and what they're developing. And I'm glad that Nova's going to be a movie. Again, I think he's better suited to be on the film side, on the big screen, rather than be on one of the Disney Plus shows. So a character that I just think should be presented on a much grander scale. I'm excited for this project. Are you excited for the Nova movie? Go down in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. Hey everyone, thanks so much for checking out that clip from my new podcast, Talking Movies and More. It will be intercut with the podcast we're doing called The Assembly Cut I'm doing with Hayden Smalley, and I hope you stick around and check out that podcast as well. Be sure to check it out here on YouTube or your favorite podcasting platform, either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Go down in the comment section, let me know what you thought of the topic we discussed here today. Thank you so much for checking this video out. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notified when new videos go live to this channel. When you do that, it always helps me out, and I greatly appreciate it. Hope you all have an awesome and a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video.